Hi, it's Lonnie. Welcome back to Grace Blossoms for You. I think I'm going to have to start a playlist called Inspired by Christy, and I think that one's already taken. But, she is just so inspiring. Everything she does on her channel, I want to do. And if not exactly like she's doing it, a version of it so that, it would be inspired by. So she was doing ID cards, faux ID cards with toilet papers, toilet paper rolls. So it was February Flush, and that's her hashtag for this month. It is hashtag 2025 February Flush, and that's hosted by Crafted by Christy. I wanted to play, and so sorry for the long intro here, but I started playing with toilet paper rolls. Well, actually I don't do toilet paper rolls, but I do paper towel holders. There's what I came up with just from a couple of pieces of paper towel roll. And so I thought we could maybe work one together, and I'll show you how I did them. So what I started with was a piece of paper. It can be white, it can be brown. And then what my secret, if I have a secret, my secret would be that I put tea bag. I put tea bag on it to help it look grungy. I do like grunge, just not a whole lot of it. So it's hard for me to attain to the level of grunginess that Christy attains. However, I did like how some of these turned out. And so I had some dirtier tea bags. I thought that would be cool. And so I thought we could do at least one together. And then I will show you what I came up with for hashtag 2025 Flush February, or February Flush. Sorry, I'll get that right, and I will link it below. All right, so I basically just glued down the tea bag with a glue stick, and you just want one that's strong enough to hold. It doesn't have to be Pritt, just one of the better ones. I have used some that don't want to hold at all. So I'm just trimming this because I want it to be looking like one piece rather than several pieces that came together. And then I'm going to try and straighten this out a bit. And I do want it to all be covered. So I did make mine a little bit smaller than Christy made hers. I just wanted them to be a little bit more life-size. And so then for me, the interesting part was getting pictures together. And so I had a couple that were roughly the right size, but for the most part, the ones I have that are the right size are at an angle. So, I might just use those if I can't find another. That one's actually not too bad quality-wise. I kind of like that one. I could use some trimming. Maybe the smaller ones. I don't know. See, this is where I run into trouble. So the tea bag is on the roll paper, not the picture so far. I haven't done any. These pictures do have tea bags on them, which is why I didn't really want to use them straight off. But let's see. That one's cute. I think that one might go better on the whitish background. Yeah, let's do that one for there. And then we'll pick this one for here. Okay, so then what I did was, obviously, you have to ink everything to get the grunge look, right? And that's partly why I picked the tea bags to help disguise the roll paper a little bit, because I know a lot of people are not too fond of knowing that you use a toilet paper roll. And so I figured just take that out of their minds and just disguise it, because I mean, we're so good at that. Now these did have numbers on them, and sometimes they still show up after the tea bags, but it looks like these disappeared a little bit. And then for stamps, I didn't have a whole lot to choose from, but I had a couple. I had one that I made with lines, and so I was thinking I could kind of do a makeshift box here, or frame, for Our Lady. And in fact, I might just do like the bottom, and then the side. And this is where it gets a little tricky, because I have two lines and I can never remember which one I put ink on. There we go. That shall do. It's a little bigger than it needs to be, but that's okay. Maybe I should do a double line after all. That will really mess it up. Okay, so something like that. And then I'm going to just use my Barely Arts, because now it's got to stick through the tea bag onto the roll paper. So yeah, how are you guys doing? Are you doing the challenges that Christy has come up with? I'm just really excited about the things that she comes up with. I don't know how she puts out a video every single day. It's not something that I think I can do, but okay, so I do have a number that I'm going to assign to this person, because you know, it's no longer about people's names and that. It's just, here's a number, there you go. And since these are fake, nobody's going to be checking their number. I also have one that says identification card stub. But what I've been doing is just putting part of that on. And then here's this line already in the roll, so my angle will be really good. So I just put ink on the identification stars card, and I actually got the ST from stub, but that could stand for maybe student, or you know, whatever you want. And then I do have some other stamps that I was putting on here, like a script stamp. I was doing that. And then just kind of lightly, I don't really care if it got smudged. And then, what else? There was one other thing. One of my little stamps had like a signature on it. And these are not special stamps. I got these from Amazon. And if I can find the signature, I think it was up top here. It almost looks like Godfather. But what I did with this one was I kind of put it right over the picture. and it doesn't really show on this one, but that's okay. So I don't really know what else to stamp on this thing. I did put some like homemade alcohol inks on the papers themselves before I did this. So, and then with the tea bag, they look kind of grungy, I think, already. So I don't think a whole lot is needed here, but I do think that this is a little crooked. And then if you wanted to, you could just grunge it up even a bit more. Now, for some of these pictures, they looked really good, and then I thought maybe they looked too good, and maybe they wouldn't look so good in the natural, so I actually grunged them up themselves. I have a laser printer, and they do really well until they meet masking tape. So what I did, and I don't need a big piece for this, so I just put it on the picture and pulled it off, and you can see how the ink pulls off the picture. So if you wanted to stress it, you could just, you know, do as much or as little as you want. And yeah, so I thought that was kind of neat. And so I did that for a little bit. And then you could still go back in and ink it some more if you wanted to, because it wouldn't stay that white, obviously. So yeah, so now she doesn't look so pristine. And so here's the 3 that I made all together. So let's keep going, and we'll do this last one here. I want to do the kids. It was Christy that was talking about having kids go together on one passport rather than individually. And so I thought, hey, I can use that picture because somebody confirmed that that's what they used to do. I was about 6 years old when I got my first passport, or ID for a passport, and I was by myself on there, so that was a long time ago. Alright, so this was white, and the tea bag I used was really grungy. Must have had brown tea or something. Usually I have the fruit tea bags. Alright, so there's going to be that. And again, just want the rough size of it. Doesn't have to be exact. Good enough. Okay, and then I'm going to attach the picture again. I could actually do some stamping before, but I tend to forget. I just want to get that picture on there, so. They're cute, and that's definitely really light, so. So yeah, there's this project, which is a lot of fun. These are actually the first faux ID cards that I'm making, so I had been wanting to make them for a while, and I finally decided it was time. I don't really have a lot of use for identification cards in the kind of journaling that I normally do, but hey, we don't always have to have a reason to make things, right? And besides, everything I've made so far has come in handy for something, so. I guess the right way up would be good, though. And that's not really picking up anything. There we go. Doesn't really look like printing, but that's okay. So I'm going to try that signature one more time. I think it was there. And then just a little bit there. I don't know. It may mean something, it may not. So yeah, I do like the use of the tea bags for this project. And then I got to thinking, so what else can I do? Because I wanted to do something else for February flush, and so I thought, well, tea bags came in very nice for this project, so maybe I can use more tea bags. Anyway, so there they are. That's the 4 that I made. So if you're watching, Christy, thanks for the idea. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. So yeah, so if you need to distress your photos, like I said, a little bit of masking tape will go a long way. And it will, I don't know if an inkjet printer would work the same, but for these it seems to do the job. Alright, so let's put these aside. And then I have the larger ones. Now these are white ones, and I did put DIY alcohol inks on here, and I also did some coffee dyeing. I just kind of splattered. So I got some interesting looks here. So then I thought, well, how about pockets? Well, we could make pockets. And I still have a few smaller pieces left that have tea bags on them, like this. This was white with some stains on it. And I thought we could use these for pockets. Why not? It's got the numbers on there already that we like. I see some showing through there. And I mean, it's pretty strong once especially if you've already put something like a tea bag on there. You've reinforced that paper roll now, so it's sturdier than it was when you started. And then I thought, well, we could leave it grungy, or we could just, you know, dress it up some. So let me get my punch. For the thumb notch, that would go about there. Now this would just be, okay, the punch not strong enough. That's not the greatest punch I have anyways, but it does not like the thickness of that roll. This one is okay. This one's 1.5 inches. So it worked. So it must just depend on the punch that you have. And then I wanted to, I think, round the corners slightly. And I hold my corner rounder upside down. If you have one of these, it helps to get that in the right position. Otherwise, I find sometimes it chews it. And that might be what we want, but sometimes it's not exactly what we're looking for. So I do hope you're doing well. We ended up getting a whole pile of snow and really cold temperatures, minus 23 it was this morning, and I think it was even colder yesterday. Today is Wednesday as I'm recording this. And so, yeah, we've been shoveling, and actually we just been sweeping the snow away. It's cold enough, it's powdery enough, we can do that if we keep up with it. So, okay, so there's a small pocket. Sorry, I had this here the whole time. A small pocket, and obviously you could use toilet paper rolls for this as well. Here it is on brown, and so I mean, sometimes you just want a little pocket, and I thought these were perfect for the tea bags, because the tea bags I have are a nice size, but they're not huge. So now, if you have a roll that is very pronounced with the joining, you might want to address that from the back before you turn it into a pocket, because whatever you put in there might stick or get caught. So I was thinking this is going on the inside of the pocket, so we could again just take some tape. You could take some washi tape, you could take whatever you like, and then just make sure it's flat on there, I guess. And then so that nothing gets caught on the way in the pocket. Hopefully that will work. We don't want that coming up, because that would be even worse. So I'm just going to do the top one on this one because it was pretty pronounced. And then on this one, what I could do is make this the top of the pocket, because the ridge is going down, so it would only be an issue if the pocket was facing that way. So let me try this. And again, I think they look a lot neater and more convincing if they have the corners rounded. And you don't need to do this if you don't want, obviously. Let's see, it looks okay, except there's a little bit of overhang there. Now too, you can obviously put a cluster on here or decorate it however you like. You could even grunge up your tea bag a bit more. For some reason mine has some green tinge on it, which is fine. I mean, I kind of like this one for the fruity colors though. So just take taking a little bit of white off of there. So there we go. There's 2 pockets. And I was thinking for another thing, because another thing Christy was doing was napkin decoupage. And so I thought, hey, those pieces of roll could also be turned into pockets or belly bands or anything else for that matter if you want to make bigger pieces. These could be bigger pockets, and then you could actually use napkins on them, which are a bit bigger than tea bags. Plus you have already a picture on the napkin, so I'm going to take the backing off of this napkin. It's a nice spring napkin. The top one is very thin, and I almost thought it only had 2. Okay, so then just have to decide where we want the napkin to sit. And I like how this one has what do you call those? The honeycomb shape hexagons. So I think we will want to get both bees on there. And I just kind of roughly cut my napkin because I'm not going for specific pieces actually right now. So. Okay, so then I'm just going to do this with this tape, or glue stick rather. And I do want my numbers to show, so I have them facing up. I forgot to notch out the pocket. I'll do that later after the napkin is on there. And I did iron mine because they were quite folded. I want that flower on there, the daisy. And I think that's going to be an issue because if I put the notch on there, that's where it's gonna go, unless I do the pocket this way. I might do that. And I just use my fingers. I don't have a problem with napkins. Are not so porous that the glue all comes right out to the surface. So. And plus this helps me determine whether it's actually stuck down or not. So there we go. There is a little pocket of air there. So maybe if I use my bone folder, just have to be gentle because it is a napkin and it's not the strongest thing in the world. So then just trim that off. yeah, so again, Christy, if you're watching, I'm really liking this new idea every month. And I seem to have a weak spot of toilet paper here. So I just ended up trimming that a little bit more. Sorry, my voice is raspy. I have not had time for a cup of hot beverage today yet. I say hot beverage because sometimes I do tea and sometimes it's coffee. Alright, so like I said, this could go either or any direction. And so I'm wondering if I should just leave it this way until I know where I'm going to be using it. But I know I don't want it over here, so if it did have a direction, I think it would be either this way. That's not bad. I think I just had it this way. So I could either put it on the side there or up top here. Would be really skinny though if I did it up there. So I think I'm going to do it over here. And then I could still put it on do it as a side pocket. I do use lots of those as well, so why not? And yeah, I could use a different color of ink, but I always have these open and ready to go, so. And two, it's very likely that there will be other things inked this color when I do my journal, so. All right, so there is a pocket. Now, I don't know, we could do more stuff. Like I said, you could make a belly band. I'm sure there's lots of things you can do. Just have to, again, double check that inside there for that join, because you're not going to want to have anything sticking to that or getting caught on it, I should say. If we did, I had washi tape now. I can use my ugly stuff because it's gonna not be seen. And so I will do that. And I will just put this on here quickly, and then I'm going to end this video because my furnace is coming on. So I'll just say thank you for joining me today, and we will see you again next time. Enjoy your day. Happy crafting. God loves you. God bless you. And we will see you again. Bye for now. Okay, well, I'm back, and I made another pocket, and I just kept working. And so I made a pocket, and I put some washi tape on the back where the ridge was. And then I got to thinking, this could also have been a great journaling card. So this was a napkin like this was, but if I had put a blank piece of paper instead of washi tape and glued it on, it would have made a fabulous journaling card. So that's just another idea for you. And yeah, this time I'm really gonna go. So have a great day. We'll see you guys again. Bye-bye.